Hello everybody and welcome back to your favourite YouTube channel, Simon Security Expert. Maybe that's wishful thinking, who knows. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you how to mount and wire and fit a motion sensor PIR for your burglar alarm system. Things you will need: a drill with a 5.5mm drill bit or a 6mm drill bit, a terminal screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, two 1-inch screws, pair of snips, and of course your alarm flex cable, which you've probably already ran into place. I will be posting another video on how to wire an intruder alarm system. And you'll need two red roll plugs in order to mount and fit the PIR. So without further ado, let's get straight to it, show you how to do it in case you're a little bit stuck, and I'll also give you a couple of hints and tips along the way just to make your life a little bit easier. So let's go. Okay then, so let's begin. First of all, you'll want to get your motion sensor out of the box and just sit it on the wall to make sure it sits there okay. Then pop open the motion sensor. Inside you'll have these terminals, which is your positive and negative DC voltage, your closed and normally closed, which is your alarm circuit, and the tamper circuit just here. Sometimes normally closed and closed can be called alarm rather than NC and C, but these are the general terminals that you'll have on a motion sensor PIR. So we're going to want to mount this motion sensor to the wall, and for this video we're going to be drilling it to the wall. So in this instance, pop out the circuit board. This hole here is for your cable entry. So using your screwdriver, push that and open up for the cable entry that will come into the sensor. Now we're going to mount this on two sides, one here and one here. So we will just remove these knockouts, position this on the wall, and then just using your screwdriver or a pen, you can just mark the wall where you're going to be drilling. So we can see one here and we can see one just here. So now let's get the drill. Here is a quick tip. Use the box the PIR came in to sit just underneath the hole where you're going to be drilling. Just saves a bit of mess and getting stuff on the floor. And you'll need your drill and a 5.5 or a maximum a 6mm drill bit. So we'll go into here, and we don't have to go in far. We're not holding up the entire house. We can just go in about an inch. There's one, and that's plenty for the second. Now get your roll plugs. Okay, these will go into here. Now what I like to do with these is just cut them down to about half the size, and they fit nicely into the hole. There we go. And now it's time to mount the back box of our detector. So you'll need your two screws, and we'll put one in the top corner. There we go, that's in tight. And now one for the bottom. There we are. Back box is now mounted. Take your cable that you have likely already put into position, if you have already wired for this PIR, which you should have done, if you're now looking to mount it, and just feed the cable through into the back box. Now, inside this cable will likely be 6 or 8 cores. There are 4-core cables as well, but to be honest, you don't see them much anymore. Cut in using your snips into the cable and peel the cable back an inch or so, and inside you'll see this string. Using this string, just peel the sleeve of the cable back to reveal the inner cores of the cable. Now cut this away, space out the inner cores, put red and black together. These are common pairings used in alarm installations. Red and black, which is usually for your power, blue and yellow, which is for your normally closed and closed, or your alarm circuit, and green and white for your tamper circuit. And for the 2 spare cores, you can just wrap these around like so. These are handy, don't cut them away, because if you ever need them in future, you want them there in case your cable ever gets damaged and you need spare cores. So now that you have your back box in place, your inner cables, all nice and neat, you're just going to want to get your snips and lightly press into the end. I'll do them one by one to show you, and nice and easy pop off, and you expose the metallic part inside. Take this towards the end and twist. Do this for all 6 of the inner cores. Don't worry if you accidentally cut right through them when you're trying to do this. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and then once you get used to it, you'll be able to do loads at once. So let's just get these ready, because these are going into our terminals. Now all 6 wires are ready to go into the terminals. So let's get the circuit board and pop the circuit board into place. Of course, models vary slightly, but for the most part, they're very similar in terms of wiring. So just try and get the cable tucked behind the circuit board there. Now let's start by putting our positive and negative. Tip: if you're fitting your own alarm system, mount the sensors first before putting any power onto the control panel. This makes it impossible then for you to short these 2 cables and pop a fuse inside the panel. So red into the positive and black into the negative, and get your terminal screwdriver, screw them up and screw them nice and tight. Don't over tight them, but you'll want to make sure that all 6 cores are solidly in there. So after you've screwed up the cores into the terminals, give them a tug just to make sure that they're not coming out. Here is the alarm circuit of closed and normally closed. They're in and they're solid. And your tamper circuit, exactly the same. Put these into here and tighten these up. Push the cable behind the circuit board, and there you've wired your motion sensor PIR for your burglar alarm. There are some options on here with dip switches and jumpers, but to be honest, it's unlikely you're ever going to have to fiddle with these. These are things like pulse counts, and sometimes can be to do with the pet-friendly settings on a sensor. So just read the manual for the specific sensor you're using to make sure you're not missing out on something important. Now let's get the lid, place the lid, and close over. You have now mounted your PIR motion sensor. Close the lid, nice and snug fit, and it's solid there on the wall. Job's a good one. So there you have it, guys, showing you how to fit a PIR motion sensor for your burglar alarm system. As I said, they do come in different shapes and sizes, but the premise of all of them is pretty much the same. That is the basic way to fit one. There are some other ways with end-of-line resistors, but we'll go into that in another video. Oh, dust from the box. Okay. I'll also soon be going on to another video on how to fit, mount and wire up a control panel unit, so you've got a good idea on how to fit your alarm system. I'll also be doing videos on how to wire and fit an external sounder and things like front door contacts and vibration sensors. So I'll see you soon for the next video in the series. See you next time.